Right, everyone. So we are live. So what is up, guys? It's Mr. T coming at you live from NYC. Welcome back to Convos, our podcast over here on YouTube. And hey, guys, welcome back to another episode. Now, before I begin, so again, shout outs to all of you guys for all of your support ever since this channel started. And, we're heading right above 500 subs. And, you guys are amazing for everything that you've done. And so, again, my heartfelt appreciation to all of you, male or female, whoever, whatever gender affiliation you may be. You guys are amazing. And I can't thank you guys enough for everything. Like, I'm literally trying to find the words to express that, but hopefully we keep this train rolling and we keep this going, all right? So, you guys read the title, what we're going to talk about, and I know this may be a sensitive topic, so viewer discretion is advised to any of you guys who know this on a personal level, but what I'm going to talk about today is specifically on, those creeps out there in the world. Sounds kind of childish when I say it out loud, but it's really true. If you want me to clarify what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to creeps, I'm talking about child predators, sexual predators. And again, that's not a topic for the faint of heart, and I know that's not a topic that many of us want to discuss. I don't want to, and other people don't want to, just because, it seems as though like it can't happen, but reality sets in, it can happen, and it sucks as well because I've heard stories, seen stories, like I've seen it on the news. And like I said, guys, this channel, all in all, despite the memes, despite all the fun things that we do over here, there are some things here that we talk about when it's because I center on mental health, all right? And for sure, definitely, when you have stalkers, predators out there in the world, it sucks again because, they can be so damaging to mental health. And I'm saying that as well from, I've heard people who were victims of it, and I've heard what they've went through. I've seen the scars that these attacks have left on them, and it's so disheartening as well because, like I said, guys, I'm a guy. And, thinking, I read somewhere on the YMCA, like I've read it on statistically speaking that 96% of all attacks, child predators, sexual assaulters, they are male. And, it's not a good outlook. It's not good at all that I'm talking about this, and, it's my demographic that's the one causing the pain. And so from myself to, and from all the guys out there who are good in the world, we want to say sorry because, again, these are just urges. Forgive me if I say that word, but these are just these habits and, something that's innate. It's inborn within all guys. And again, it sucks as well because, we're not the ones paying the costs. It's literally those wonderful women, the female population, any gender fluid type of person out there in the world who may be a victim of it. Even though guys can be victims of this, but I'm speaking out as well and saying sorry as well to all the women who endure this, whether it be through, in the case like domestic violence, or just that random person out there who thinks that they can, get a hit on from you guys, right? It sucks, and this is my way to help you guys, my way to give to you guys, because these are some tips that I've not only have I come across online, but also this is what was discussed from my friends. I'm not going to disclose their names, but these are people who have been through those kinds of attacks and who has seen them, not only just seen them, but felt it and literally were victims of it. So again, this is just also their words as well. And again, for anyone who has survived these attacks, again, stay strong. You got this. There's so much more in the world. We all know that this world is black and white. There's always going to be those people who are good, and there's always going to be those people who are bad. And at the same time as well, you're going to find people who are in the between. Like, you're going to find those people who literally who can be good at one point, but at the next, they pop a cherry or something like that. But again, that's why I can't really criticize, but what we can do is practice self-awareness. We can practice, perseverance. We can practice persistence. We can practice, self-defense and all those things that can keep us safe, right? Again, even though we can't stop the world from going in that direction, what we can do is prevent something like this from happening, all right? And again, these are tips that can go out to, even though I'm emphasizing mostly on women in this case, these can go out as well to, guys who also encounter this. Because again, anyone can be a victim. Let's just be real. Anyone can be a victim. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what age. Pedophilia, in any sense, it can happen at any time, right? Doesn't matter what kind of gender. Doesn't matter what kind of age you are. So just keep an open mind as well, because all of these tips can apply no matter who you are, no matter what person you may be. All right. So again, hopefully these tips come as of help to you guys. And, right after I give these, I'm going to share my thoughts as well about why I decided to do this topic. Because, again, there was just so much I wanted to discuss about this one. Because this one hits me hard, knowing that I've known people who've been through it. And I've seen people struggle because of it. And, this goes so much more than just one simple attack, right? Again, that's just going to be for the later half of this episode. But for right now, guys, here are the tips that I got. There's 6 main ones that I got for you guys. And, I got them listed down over here just so I don't lose my train of thought. And the first one that I want to point out, I don't know if I'm going to edit this for those of you who need like a visual or something like that, but just tune in, listen in, because this is what I got for you guys. All right. So number 1 is to stay in a public area. Now we all know that we like to elope. We all know that we want to it's not always where we want to be in the public, right? Sometimes when we're out, we want to be somewhere where it's private, it's quiet, and safe, right? And that's true for everyone. Sometimes we just want to have our own personal space. We want to have our own personal time. But, at the same time, we can't contradict ourselves thinking that, you can't have privacy in a place where you're going to be public, right? And it's not ideal as well because, again, people will do whatever. And it's not like we can always stop them for something that they can't control, right? Whether it be a he or a she, it doesn't matter, right? And so in this case, guys, so, stay in an area. If you're going to venture out somewhere, keep in mind your route and make sure it's in a public area. Again, people are less inclined to do something stupid if they find themselves in a situation where other people can see it. Part of the reason, and I'm going to say this personally, I hate going out at night. I'm not a night owl. I'm not that kind of person who wants to venture out. And that's, that's also for personal reasons on the fact that I don't like going out at night. But at the same time, on a more professional standpoint, think about it. Night is the absolute worst time in which, you can be out and about and other people, you can't even see where you're going at times, right? Not everything is illuminated. Not everything is set to light. Like literally you'll find you won't be able to see other people, and help ain't always accessible, right? Even though there are police, even though there are those kind of people, again, the person that we can depend on most of all is ourselves. And in this case, you don't, at the same time as well, you don't want to be that person who's just alone and really having to depend on yourself when there are other people who are capable of doing something, all right? So again, please stay in a public area where people are and where people can see you, you can see them. And this is, albeit, it can still happen. Again, the risk of it happening is much lower because, again, no one wants to make a fool of themselves. No one wants to get arrested. No one wants to do that time, right? So, again, stay in a public area where it's safe, all right? The second tip that I got for you guys, so, again, seek help where available. Now, if you are suspecting that creep, that ass is literally on the hots for you, is looking out at you and following you and those kind of things, again, this world, again, is black and white. There's people who are going to be good. There's people who are going to be bad. And if you see that bad person, there's going to be a good person in the world. There always is and there always will be, all right? So again, seek help where available and look out for where you feel that, if you can tell from a person just from the way that they look and the way that they act that they're okay, right? And people in that train who have that state of mind, that train of thought, it's always important to just be aware of that and, always trust people in that regard, right? Always learn to build trust as well. in people, because again, there are people who are gonna help. There's always gonna be people who are gonna help, and you're only when you take that chance, and only when you look out for that, only when you're aware of that, can you really see that there's still good in people, and there's still going to be truthful people and people who know that when something is wrong, that it ain't gonna work. All right, so keep that in mind. And again, third tip that I got for you guys and gals, again, report the problem to the proper authorities. If you feel that that person, man or woman, is putting your life at risk or other people's lives at risk, again, the authorities are there. People are trained, and regardless of what you hear in the news about police or those who are, those who have guns or whatever, right? Regardless of what you feel, again, it's better that they put those weapons or they put that training to good use. And again, think about looking to the authorities for help, because literally they are there most especially for you, right? And again, people are not inclined to do those kind of things, especially sexual assault, child predation. It's not normal. So again, for people to think of it in that way, it's a cruel and unusual thing to happen. And people who are in law enforcement will see that. Like, literally, they can think of it in that way, regardless of what you feel about them. So always keep in mind that you can always report to the police. I've literally seen in a news article about how a person was literally saved. The perpetrator drove off because the police was informed, and this person was at a mall in a huge parking lot. And, with that in mind, she ran over to the authorities. They chased him down, hunted him down, and they got him. So again, regardless of where you are, look at them very carefully, because no one, like, literally, unless you're really crazy, no one likes child predation. No one likes sexual assault in any manner whatsoever, right? There's just those disgusting things in life that, that's when you've crossed the line. It's like a crime against humanity, you know what I mean? And so please be aware of that, and please keep in mind to seek help where it is, and look to the police for help, especially in this case when it comes down to hunting down the creeps, all right? And sorry, lost my train of thought. But anyway, tip number 4 that I got for you guys and gals, again, take a different route home. Now, this one is crucial because, again, I'm trying to envision every scenario that can come about. And so, if you take a different route home, keep in mind that this person, when they're feeling sexually aroused, or they're feeling that urge and those disgusting things, again, keep in mind that, it's not the mind that's working, right? It's just like the body speaking for itself. And so often the case where, just because that they want something from another person, they want to assault another person, doesn't mean that they're in the right state of mind to do so. And in this case as well, it's imperative as well to confuse them and take a different route back to where you live. Because again, that state of confusion, right? It draws them out away from those kind of wants and those unusual things that they can think about. So again, take a different route home. It may take some time, but it's better safe than sorry, all right? And again, it's imperative as well that your health and your safety comes first and foremost, rather than your wants, right? Even though you prefer to take your route home, it's not gonna benefit you if someone was trailing behind you, because again, it's so straightforward to find your way home, but again, so will the perpetrator if they follow along, right? If you make it simple for them, make it harder for them to do so, and make them regret why not to prey on you in the first place, all right? And then tip number 5, practice self-defense. Here's the thing in NYC. It says there that when you're 18 and above, you're legally allowed to have pepper spray. Now, again, I'm not just applying it to those people over in New York, but look out for laws regarding self-defense, because, again, you want to maximize as much as possible to the police saying you are the victim, right? You want to be the one in the right. And, again, forgive the police as well, because, they're, regardless if they have biased judgment or whatever, right? Build a case for yourself that, hey, this guy is preying on me, this guy's gonna assault me, this guy was wanting to get a feel for me. And so, keep an eye out for your laws on self-defense, because it tells you what you can do to protect yourself, but also what you cannot do because of the fact that you're still in the general public, right? So, for example, part of the reasons why I think that pepper spray is not allowed for those who are 17 and below, even though that I know that they're smart and efficient enough to use it, is because of the fact that, number one, it could be random, right? Those who are still growing up tend to have the urge to use those kind of things, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. We have something that's unique to ourselves and something that we and us can own only. That having that thing, that weapon being thought of as like a privilege. What the heck is going to happen? Of course, young people are going to use it, right? And it could be haphazard, and then the crime could be set on them, right? So again, be mindful of the self-defense laws that you have in whatever state, whatever city, whatever country, whatever continent that you're on, because again, it legally tells you what you can do, but also this is professional advice from people who've not only seen these kind of attacks, but also who could help you in these kind of attacks, whether they're there or not. So again, this is the advice from professionals, and they studied people, and again, they know what they can do, right? So again, when strengthen yourself physically, mentally, equip yourself as well, because that can help you out in the long run. All right, so again, have that kind of training, because it's gonna help you guys, all right, and gals. And this was a last add-on from Madame Audacity, and I feel that it ties it all in to what the heck this topic is about. Is be confident and not cocky. There's a time and place to fight. There's a time and place to fight, and there's a time and place to run away and seek the proper help, right? If you think you can fight, well, first off, don't fight if it's private. There's no chance, right? If you're gonna fight for your safety, make sure that it was in an area that was public, because eyewitnesses as well can testify in your case that something had happened, right? So again, be very mindful and careful about that, right? That's the kind of confidence that we need. Fight in a public area, and people will tell. People can observe and understand, hey, this person is in the wrong. This person was trying to assault this woman or man and whatever, right? So again, be very, very mindful of that. Be very careful with that, and be confident in that, you're playing it smart, right? And what she said here as well is, don't be cocky, And again, this is true in many cases where, if you think that you can fight a man who's like 250 pounds, who can literally sit on you, and literally you're screwed, right? So again, that's not the wise decision. Again, if you know that you can't fight, then don't fight, right? And if you feel as though you think that you got away, always have someone else aware of what it is that you're going through, right? Once you get away from this perpetrator, if you moved away, seek that help. Seek the people who you can trust and who can reinforce you. Again, there's strength in numbers in this case, right? And a guy cannot sexually assault so many people at the same time, right? Especially when they know that they have their backs turned against someone who doesn't agree with what they believe. So again, always keep that in mind as well. Don't be cocky. Please be smart with your choices, with your actions, with your thoughts and deeds. And, take that to heart, body, mind, and soul, and always keep that in mind, all right? So again, be confident with what you do. Be confident in how you act, how you speak, how you think. But also know when it's time to retreat. Play it smart, because playing it smart means that you save some energy and you can focus more on if the worst comes to worst, all right? So always keep that in mind. And again, those are my 6 tips that I got for you guys. So I'm going to just repeat them for all of you guys and gals who feel that they need to hear it again. So again, stay in a public area where it's safe. Seek help where available and when available, because there's always going to be people who can help you. And there are many people, the majority of people can agree that sexual assault is not cool. Not cool at all, right? Report the problem to the proper authorities. And again, use your mind. Be very mindful of where you are and who you talk to as well, right? You have to be very cautious, all right? Take a different route home if needed. Again, even if the perpetrator gets away, right? Or even if the perpetrator is caught, again, it's important as well, make it so that he doesn't observe your route home, because then, again, anything can happen from that point forward, right? Practice self-defense, strengthen yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, if possible, and all those things socially. Again, keep in mind all those facets of life that makes us human, all right? And then finally, again, be confident and not cocky. Again, this is from Madame Adasi. Again, it's very important as well that, you be confident with your actions, you be confident with your thoughts, and, have that confidence as well, but also have the smarts. It's important as well that whatever you do is a decision that you make at your behest, and it's a decision that, has your mind in consideration, all right? Be thoughtful, be careful, be humble, be respectful, and at the same time, know when it's time to make the decision, all right? So again, those are my 6 tips that I got for you guys and gals. And again, I know that there are creeps still in this world. I wish they could all go away. But again, seldom is the case where it always happens. But again, whenever those kind of scenarios happen, please be careful, please be cautious. And for any of those who were victims, again, my heart goes out to you if you're still dealing with the trauma, because I know that, again, I'm a guy and I'm speaking for all the guys. This isn't the way to go. And if only guys can so much as think about what they're doing, what the heck they're doing, we could have a better world. But in this case, I may be representing the guys, but I know that this right here is where I draw the line. This is not the case of just gender. This is a case of basic human decency, right? No one wants to be raped, assaulted, abused, neglected, right? No one wants to go through those kind of things. And so, I hope these tips can help you guys and gals, wherever you are in the world, to avoid these kind of situations. Because again, people, all of a sudden, from being like, you could be the CEO of JP Morgan, all of a sudden you just have the urge to want someone. Imagine it all goes down in the blink of an eye, right? And all you have to do is make the right choices and make the right decisions then and there. And even though you may be afraid, don't be afraid, all right? Don't be afraid, be aware. I think that is more important. And I think that can be like my 7th tip, be aware of what's happening. What's happening out there in the world, what's happening out there with you, what's happening out there with the other people around you, and you can move forward, all right? But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Convos. Again, this was, again, a very sensitive topic, and I know that it's not for the faint of heart for anyone. But I know as much as, like I said, mental health, there are many facets to it. And these kind of assaults can have such an impact on your health. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. But what I can do is play my part and do what I need to do, all right? But for now, that's going to be it for this episode of Convos. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. I love you all. And I hope you guys stay safe out there. I know it's not fair for all of us to go through these kind of things or have to be aware of these kind of things. But please, be careful, be safe. And, if you ever need to reach out for help, again, you know where to find me. Like I said, guys, I'm here for you as much as, you're here for whatever I got over here, right? So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like, share, sub, and much love. You guys are amazing. Please be safe out there. Take these tips to heart. Share these tips to who you feel needs it. And I'll see you at the next episode, all right? Peace out, and please stay safe, all right?